Hey there everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everybody's having a good weekend out there. I bet you a lot of people are out in that mad rush of holiday shopping. I'm just having quite Saturday at home like most Saturdays. It's a little bit gray today, a little bit chilly. Not too much, but just catching up on some work and yeah, just going to enjoy my weekend. I want to talk about the mindfulness of anger and how to handle it today. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go down there and hit that red subscribe button now. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I'm looking as I've got this thing up, I'm like, okay, I hope there's not too many distractions. Humans, a lot of humans just get very distracted. I'm always watching my background, because if there's one little thing of interest, if there's one squeak, the neurotic will find it. Going to do a little reading from Thich Nhat Hanh, Pieces Every Step this morning. Particular section. This one's pretty, as I was going through my book, this one's pretty dog-eared. I've got a lot of folds and actually the paper's kind of yellowing. This actual copy, I think I've probably had this book for 25 years or so, but yeah, I've always enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed his reading, and as you guys know, I've shared it with you before. Okay, the mindfulness of anger. Anger is an unpleasant feeling. It is like a blazing flame that burns up our self-control and causes us to say and do things that we regret later. When someone is angry, we can clearly see that he or she is abiding in hell. Anger and hatred are the materials from which hell is made. A mind without anger is cool, fresh, and sane. The absence of anger is the basis of real happiness, the basis of love and compassion. When our anger is placed under the lamp of mindfulness, it immediately begins to lose some of its destructive nature. We can say to ourselves, breathing in, I know that anger is in me. Breathing out, I know that I am my anger. If we follow our breathing closely while we identify and mindfully observe our anger, it can no longer monopolize our consciousness. Awareness can be called upon to be a companion for our anger. Our awareness of our anger does not suppress it or drive it out, it just looks after it. This is a very important principle. Mindfulness is not a judge. It's more like an older sister looking after and comforting her younger sister in an affectionate and caring way. We can concentrate on our breathing in order to maintain this mindfulness and know ourselves fully. When we are angry, we are not usually inclined to return to ourselves. We want to think about the person who is making us angry, to think about his hateful aspects, his rudeness, dishonesty, cruelty, maliciousness, and so on. The more we think about him, listen to him, or look at him, the more our anger flares. His dishonesty and hatefulness may be real, imaginary, or exaggerated, but in fact, the root of the problem is the anger itself. And we have to come back and look first of all inside ourselves. It is best if we do not listen to or look at the person whom we consider to be the cause of our anger. Like a fireman, if we have to pour water on the blaze first and not waste time looking for the one who set the house on fire. Breathing in, I know that I am angry. Breathing out, I know that I must put all my energy into caring for my anger. So we avoid thinking about the other person, and we refrain from doing or saying anything as long as our anger persists. If we put all our mind into observing our anger, we will avoid doing any damage that we may regret later. When we are angry, our anger is our very self. To suppress or chase it away is to suppress or chase away ourself. When we are joyful, we are the joy. When we are angry, we are the anger. When anger is born in us, we can be aware that anger is an energy in us, and we can accept that energy in order to transform it into another kind of energy. When we have a compost bin filled with organic material, which is decomposing and smelly, we know that we can transform the waste into beautiful flowers. At first, we may see the compost and the flowers as opposite, but when we look closely, we see that flowers already exist in the compost, and the compost already exists in the flowers. It only takes a couple of weeks for a flower to decompose. When a good organic gardener looks into her compost, she can see that, and she does not feel sad or disgusted. Instead, she values the rotting material and does not discriminate against it. It takes only a few months for compost to give birth to flowers. We need the insight and non-dual vision of the organic gardener with regard to our anger. We need not be afraid of it or reject it. We know that anger can be a kind of compost, and that it is within its power to give birth to something beautiful. We need anger in the way the organic gardener needs compost. If we know how to accept our anger, we already have some peace and joy. Gradually, we can transform anger completely into peace, love, and understanding. Pillow pounding. Expressing anger is not always the best way to deal with it. In expressing anger, we might be practicing or rehearsing it and making it stronger in the depth of our consciousness. Expressing anger to the person we are angry at can cause a lot of damage. Some of us may prefer to go into our room, lock the door, and punch a pillow. We call this getting in touch with our anger. But I don't think this is getting in touch with our anger at all. In fact, I don't think it is even getting in touch with our pillow. If we are really in touch with the pillow, we know what a pillow is and we won't hit it. Still, this technique may work temporarily because while pounding the pillow, we expend a lot of energy, and after a while we're exhausted and we feel better. But the roots of our anger are still intact, and if we go out and eat some nourishing food, our energy will be renewed. If the seeds of our anger are watered again, our anger will be reborn and we will have to pound the pillow again. Pillow pounding may provide some relief, but is not very long lasting. In order to have real transformation, we have to deal with the roots of our anger, looking deeply into its causes. If we don't, the seeds of anger will grow again. If we practice mindful living, planting new, healthy, wholesome seeds, they will take care of our anger, and they may transform it without our asking them to do so. Our mindfulness will take care of everything as the sunshine takes care of the vegetation. The sunshine does not seem to do much, it just shines on the vegetation, but it transforms everything. Poppies close up every time it gets dark, but when the sun shines on them for 1 or 2 hours, they open. The sun penetrates into the flowers, and at some point the flowers cannot resist. They just have to open up. In the same way, mindfulness, if practiced continuously, will provide a kind of transformation within the flower of our anger, and it will open and show us its own nature. When we understand the nature, the roots of our anger, we will be freed from it. Walking meditation when angry. When anger arises, we may wish to go outside to practice walking meditation. The fresh air, the green trees, and the plants will help us greatly. We can practice like this. Breathing in, I know that anger is here. Breathing out, I know that the anger is me. Breathing in, I know that anger is unpleasant. Breathing out, I know this feeling will pass. Breathing in, I am calm. Breathing out, I am strong enough to take care of this anger. To lessen the unpleasant feeling brought about by the anger, we give our whole heart and mind to the practice of walking meditation, combining our breath with our steps, and giving full attention to the contact between the soles of our feet and the earth. As we walk, we recite this verse, and wait until we are calm enough to look directly at the anger. Until then, we can enjoy our breathing while our walking and the beauties of our environment. After a while, our anger will subside and we will feel stronger. Then we can begin to observe the anger directly and try to understand it. The roots of anger. Anger is rooted in our lack of understanding of ourselves and of the causes, deep-seated as well as immediate, that brought about this unpleasant state of affairs. Anger is also rooted in desire, pride, agitation, and suspicion. The primary roots of our anger are in ourselves. Our environment and other people are only secondary. It is not difficult for us to accept the enormous damage brought about by a natural disaster, such as an earthquake or a flood. But when damage is caused by another person, we don't have much patience. We know that earthquakes and floods have causes, and we should see that the person who has precipitated our anger also has reasons, deep-seated and immediate, for what he has done. For instance, someone who speaks badly to us may have been spoken to in exactly the same way just the day before, or by his alcoholic father when he was a child. When we see and understand these kinds of causes, we can begin to be free from our anger. I'm not saying that someone who viciously attacks us should not be disciplined, But what is most important is that we first take care of the seeds of negativity in ourselves. Then if someone needs to be helped or disciplined, we will do so out of compassion, not anger and retribution. If we genuinely try to understand the suffering of another person, we are more likely to act in a way that will help him overcome his suffering and confusion, and that will help all of us. I don't know, maybe you can take some lessons out of that for the next time you're angry. All makes a lot of sense. I don't deal with anger a whole lot. I deal with agitation. I get agitated at things. I grumble a little bit, can get a little grumpy, but I don't really get angry. I kind of just let things go. Also, too, it's not as hard of a practice for me because I don't have a lot of people I have to deal with. It seems like it's proportionate. The more people you have to deal with, the more people I see have anger issues. I guess you're not dealing with a whole lot of personalities, it's pretty easy. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. If you're celebrating the holidays or just hanging out with your family or whatever. And even if you got to work, try to find a little enjoyable time during your day. If you guys enjoyed this one, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, and we're going to see y'all tomorrow. Peace.